Well, hey there, Tilted Barners. Welcome back. So today we're working on putting up more fence. So if you remember previous videos, we had went through with that post pounder and pounded a bunch of posts, the wood posts to set up for our corner braces and our H braces. And so we've got one half of it done. We did that last year, remember? And so now behind me is this field that we seeded last spring, and so you can see it looks pretty good. Looks like we got a good catch. So the goal is to move the cattle that are back there right now, move them over here once this fence gets installed and the hay gets up high enough where they can get out there and forage on it without damaging it or grazing it down too short. So we're kind of running down to the wire here. You know, this weekend of all weekends, with the way the weather is, I should have been over there planting, but you know, this isn't ready to be grazed on and the fence isn't up. So anyway, you can see behind me here, we've got posts and we're working down this line here, working down it. You can see there's a bunch of posts been set down further down, and then heading back towards the road. So we got the side-by-side down there, and I don't know if you can pick it up or not, but there's a string. Basically what I've done is I've gone and I've pulled a string between H braces, and that's my straight line to mark my property line, and setting my posts every ballpark about every 30 feet, give or take. Along the road we'll go a little bit closer. I think we're gonna go probably bring it into about 20 just because of the traffic, but that's what we're working on, setting posts and, you know, just pulling wire and putting some fence up. So the goal is hopefully by the end of the next week or two, we've got this all fenced in, and then we're working on installing more gates and you know, digging in the underground lines for the electric and stuff like that. So, but with that, I'll show you what we got going here and kind of let you watch. For those of you that are wondering why I keep looking on the back side of those posts as I'm driving them, it's because on these there's a mark right there, and so that little line there is going to be grade. So we'll drive those posts down to that little line there, and then that's as far down as they're supposed to go. And then what that does is that makes it so that all of your posts are set uniformly. Since all these posts are pre-punched, it makes it so that the bottom hole lines up, you know, at grade for every single post. So it's just kind of a neat little feature that they put on there, a little laser etch to make sure everything lines up. Okay, well, we got the first wire down. And turn the radio off. Although it's probably better than listening to me. So we got the first wire, the bottom wire, run from the first H brace down to where the next H brace is going to be. So we'll head down there and we'll go build those up real quick. Okay, well, we're back here. I'm going to have a hard time getting video of this because this is pretty muddy back here. You can see there's just a lot of, you know, standing water and kind of rutting it up a little bit already, just driving the side-by-side through here to get stuff back and forth. So I'll just give you a quick Cliff Notes version of what we're going to be doing. So what I'm going to do is I've got my posts here, and so I made this story pole, and you can see it's got the bottom and it's labeled, whoops, flip this around, here we go. Okay, so I've got it marked for the top of the post, and so, you know, it's not always perfect. So sometimes what happens is if the posts stick up a little bit higher, then I'll put the top of this pipe here with the top of the post. And then if the posts went down a little bit deeper, you know, and usually, like you can see here, it's only like 1.5 inches or so. It's not a lot. So then what we'll do is we'll set the story pole right on the ground, and then I've got these lines here, you know, they're marked in permanent marker. And what I'll do is I'll just transfer those lines over to the post, and then that'll be where my insulators are going to go. And then there's also a mark for where the pins are going to go. So I will mark that, and then I'll drill in my holes for my stainless steel pins to mount my cross members on, and then cut the cross members to length. Drive the pins in, and then just work on putting in my wire tensioners to draw everything together. So like I said, I don't think you're going to be able to get very good video of this because of where the side-by-side's located. So that's the Cliff Notes version on how we're going to do it. Okay, so you can see here we've got the pins in, so got a long dowel here, and then it's just up through on the other side here. So what we'll do is once we cut the cross member to the length, then we'll drive this into the other, drive this into the cross member. The cross member will be drilled out. The other thing that I like to do is, you can see here, is I like to have my posts set up with, I'll put the staples in, and those are just temporary to guide the wires as I'm pulling them in. And the other thing that I do is the first 4 strands are always closer together. So as you're looking down there, you can see there, those are closer than the next 2 here. There it is there. And the reason for that is so that when you've got the younger calves and stuff, they're a little closer together so that it helps to keep them contained. So I like having, and this is just my preference, by no means is this a how-to or you know, what you should do. This is what works for me. So I put those 4 strands closer so that I can keep the calves in better, and then up high you know, the bigger animals, that's just a deterrent. So that's what we've got going here. The staples, those are just tacked in just so that when I do pull my high tensile through, it'll act as a guide. And then I've got this center post. And then the other thing I wanted to point out here is that this is a triple post or double H brace. And the reason for that, those two are pretty close to the same height. But look here. So you can see we're doing a pretty major, well, not major, but a decent elevation change to go from here up to here. And then from here, it stays pretty level again. So that's why I've got this H brace here, so that I can pull tension going that way for that set of H braces and pull tension going that way. Oh, there we go, that way for the next set of H braces. So that's why we've got a double H brace here. So, and that's why, again, you see the staples where they're at. So for right now, we're just going to work on this set of H braces. I ran short on the short dowels. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So those are the first set of dowels that you saw. Those were long enough to go all the way through the post. Because this is the end one, this is a lot shorter, and so it's just big enough to, you know, basically to get the post or the cross member to kind of engage onto. So that's what we got going on there. Well, it's been a couple days since I left off, so I just wanted to follow up with where we are now. So behind me, you can see I've got all these strands here. So I've got all the wires pulled, going back down this fence line all the way to the next H brace. So pretty much, let me flip this around. All right, so you can see we got all 6 strands. We've got our bottom one here, that's the ground, or, well, it's not really a ground, it's not going anywhere. And then we've got the other strands of high tensile going up. And then from here, we're gonna be tying this one in and pulling all the way down. So, but what I wanted to show you was what we've got coming up. All the insulators, you know, on the other side of the H brace. Everything's tied in, ready to go. So I'm gonna work now on going all the way around. I've shown you how it's done, so I'll save that, save you from that one. But what I really wanted to talk about was my next video. I'm gonna try and put the drone up, and I'm gonna try and get some video of the entire property. I also want to do a review on the fencing process and the products that we used. So I've got some pros and cons, some things that, like for timeless fence, some things that work well and some things that they don't work so well for. So stay tuned for the next one, where we're going to get into timeless fence and other products and how well I thought that they performed. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.